Hey, this is Bob, and ready for today's 10-minute tour. Today we're going to learn about the Favorites menu. And Favorites is found on the desktop, second tab over, sort of tab. And you can add things you like to do here, or not really like, but have to do here fairly frequently. I do an end of week process where I go in and I post all these different modules, and then I go into job cost and I run a macro that runs a bunch of reports for the end of the week, closes the week in job cost, and then posts again after it's closed that week. Then I send a bunch of those reports out to various people in the company. And it doesn't take real long, but it's kind of handy to have all these in one spot. So all I really have to do when I'm doing it is click here. We'll see if this works remote like it does. Oh, good. A lot of times those are over on the other screen. So I just click there, click start, click here. Click start, etc. So it makes it fairly fast to post all those modules. I don't have to open up the module to get to it or do much playing around with clicking. They're sort of all right in order, and makes the job fairly quick. So I'm going to show you how to set that up. Down here, another thing I do is we do daily bank recs, and so I have a bunch of reconciliation stuff that I would do daily. Fairly often I've got to go in and look for whether an invoice has been paid or not, or where it stands. And so I have this AP invoice inquiries invoice register open. Not open, added as a favorite. And then I love Info Assistant, so I'm in there a lot, so that's why that's there. But I'll show you a couple tricks of the trade with it. So to play around in it, you go down here and click on Manage Favorites. And so one thing I'm going to try and do, and I don't know if it'll work or not, didn't test it beforehand. We'll investigate together. In Job Cost, in Tools, no, it doesn't look like it's going to be there. Some of the stuff you have to go into the actual module to get to, and so this won't show what I'm looking for. I'll jump over and show you what it is I was hunting for, though. So that doesn't look like I'm just blabbering on. So I'm going to go into Job Cost. And I'm going to open the module itself. And I'll go over to Tools. And in here are macros. And so after I posted all those things, I just come in here and I do a monthly or weekly report macro. It asks for week ending dates and stuff like that I plug in as it runs, and then it runs all the reports, saves them out to one folder as PDFs, and then I can email those out to the proper people. So it's kind of a slick thing to have, but you can't get to, for some reason, in Tools, you can't get to macros out on the desktop. You've got to open the module. One of these things I've found a few times where desktop doesn't mirror the actual module. The other one that you'd see on here was, let me see if I can find my way back out to it. Is in, no, when I go to Post Contracts, if you look over here and you go into Contracts, you only have inquiries and reports. You can't close or post contracts from in here. You have to actually go open up the module. So that's what this favorite does, is it opens up the module for me. And then I can go in here and go to tasks, post. And I do that every week. Actually, I usually just use my shortcut, but back to this. So manage favorites. So to add a favorite to over here, you just come to this side, pop it open, and say I wanted to have enter estimates over here. So all you do is drag it from there to here and drop it. And when I save, now you'll see now enter estimates is over here. And I think to get rid of it, you just come to here, right click, remove from favorites. Now the other thing you can do in here is what I did in this. I dragged over contracts to here. So it came like this. Then I went into here, oops, right clicked on it and renamed it contracts dash post them. So I knew why I had that there. So you can rename stuff there. And the other thing I'm going to do to show you how it's done is to add a spreadsheet, goodness, a website. So I'm going to come here and then go down to add to favorites. Now I'm already on the favorites. And you can select here to go to a web link. And select. And so I'm going to put in our website here. I'm not sure if it has to be structured any different than that, but I'm going to leave it like that. And I'll just call this Foz website and add it. And then I'll save. So now that's there. So in theory, if I click that, it should open it up in that screen there, which it does. So you can add any number of websites here if they're websites you use all the time for certain processes. Let's see, what was the other thing I was going to show you in this? Oh, you can add files too. So if there's like a specific, say an Excel spreadsheet that you use, you can click there, select, and then go out to the spreadsheet you use. Well, am I going to find one? It doesn't matter. We'll throw one in like that. And we'll say open. And say add. And save. And so now this construction credit is out there. I'm going to click on it, but I think it has some confidential information I may have to gray out after I do this. And I'm on a split screen, so my guess is, yes, it's over here. Okay, this one's not going to be too bad. It's got stuff on other tabs, but so it'll open up a spreadsheet for you. You can do your work that you have to do in that and then save it and close it. Not sure what's up there, but I'll leave that to look at later. All right, so the favorites tab can save you a lot of time over the years, so put it to use. And that's the end of today's 10-minute tour. Catch you next time. Bye now.